You have full permission to pivot and change your mind about anything, anyone, anytime. I think sometimes we just need to hear that, where it's like, I'm taking this path and this doesn't feel good and I'm feeling like I need to pivot. Pivot. Ross and Friends, pivot. Where it's like, I'm launching this business, or I've got this really great offer, but I'm not in energetic alignment with it. I mean, yes, there could be some fears coming up, but if you're not in energetic alignment, permission to pivot. Or maybe the name for something came in that is a current program or podcast, and you're like, oh, I think it's time to do this. I think it's time to change the name. I think it's time to rebrand. Let yourself rebrand. I actually just did this with our podcast, which is now Sacred Whisper. It's formerly known as The Untamed Healer, which I love that name. And also there was a whisper within myself for the past like 2 or 3 months that I was like, okay, I think it's time to change the name. And typically I wouldn't do that with a podcast because that's brand awareness, right? As an entrepreneur, I know this. I've been doing this long enough. And also I was like, oh, I just feel like it's time. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. The energy of the podcast is still the Untamed Healer. It is still the silent whispers of Hey Me Too. It's still having the conversations that people are not having. And we're going to pull up a seat and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about taking up space as a healer at the table. And we're going to have these deep conversations to be able to heal, clear, and release and set your soul on fire and help you remember who the F you are. The irony of this is every time I launch my signature program, The Rising Phoenix, which PS is open for enrollment, you can DM me Phoenix for information on this. I literally changed something in my business and it is so freaking hilarious. The very first time I launched the Rising Phoenix, I literally had my own Rising Phoenix moment and I lit the match and burned my 6-figure business to the ground. And here we are. I was like, I've got to walk away to stay out in energetic alignment. And every single time since then that I've launched the Rising Phoenix, something has shifted, something has changed. And here's why. Permission to evolve, permission to grow, permission to change, permission to let things be radically different. If they're feeling out of alignment for you, follow the path of alignment because it will never steer you wrong. You can listen to Sacred Whisper on literally any podcast listening platform. It is Consider this a grounded, revamped spiritual school for the soulful being, for our healers, and literally leaning in and listening to the whispers of your soul while stepping into what sets your soul on fire unapologetically.